The Transport Workers Union is calling on the government to intervene to stop Australian airlines flying over war zones.
Yesterday, Qants said there was no suggestion that flying over Iraq is unsafe for commercial airlines, despite its partner Emirates saying it wouldn't overfly Iraq because of hostile conditions.
I'm here today to call on the federal government to step in very clearly to make sure that Australian passengers are no longer put at risk in war zones around the world. At the very least, there's a requirement for passengers to be told where they are flying, whether they're flying over a war zone, and this air of secrecy between the government and airlines has to cease. The Australian travelling public not only have a right to be not travelling over war zones, they have a right, when the government enforces the airlines, to have the option to know where the hell they're going. But I think it's actually critically important that in the coming weeks that we'll be talking to members right across the aviation industry, that they have a responsibility and they understand that responsibility for the travelling public. We want Australian citizens to be able to travel safely and to come home after a well-earned holiday. But as it stands at the moment, you don't know whether you're travelling over a war zone. The companies and the airlines don't tell you because it's cheaper to fly over war zones rather than, as we saw in Ukraine, $28,000 more if you bypass it. Governments have to step in. They have to stop airlines turning around and making that decision, and the workforce is intended to be engaged about making sure the Australian travelling public are protected.
Isn't that what's happening now, though, in Canada with this meeting of various airlines and air industry experts to decide on what is a safe route for commercial airlines to take?
Well, this is the critical question in Montreal today. The international body, which is heavily influenced by both governments, who are ultimately influenced by airlines, on the decisions that are made about what happens about war zone airspace. If they come up with a decision today, they need to have regulations that can be enforced, and at the moment they don't exist. They've made it quite clear, all the international body, all the airlines, including the Australian government, that they will not make it compulsory for people not to fly over war zones when they're in danger of being blown up.